Some voices don't just sing a song, they become the standard every singer after them gets measured against. 10 songs make up this countdown, the most streamed, most remembered tracks of a career that reshaped what a black woman's voice could mean on a global stage.
Memories, that is all.
You know most of these songs by heart. One of them, most fans have never truly sat with. By the end, you'll understand why it belongs here at all. But before the countdown begins, we go back to where it started, New Hope Baptist Church in Newark, New Jersey, where an 11-year-old girl learned to hold a note in the choir loft under the watch of her mother. See, before she ever stepped near a stage, that gospel foundation would shape every song on this list, and the tension between where she came from and where the industry pushed her next. Number 10, Run to You, 1993. We open the countdown with the quiet one, the song fans discover only after they already love the obvious hits. Run to You arrived as part of the Bodyguard soundtrack, standing in the shadow of a bigger single that would go on to conquer the world. But this one told a different story: fear, surrender, the ache of wanting to trust someone after being hurt. Written by Judd Friedman and Alan Rich, it was originally built as something faster before her voice reshaped it into confession. Behind the polish of the voice, this song hid real pressure, a woman carrying more than the world could see. It became a fixture on Quiet Storm radio and personal playlists everywhere, a reminder that not every masterpiece needs to shout. Next on the countdown, the song that turned a debut artist into an inevitability the industry could no longer ignore. Number 9, Saving All My Love for You, 1985. Every legend has a moment where the world stops calling them promising and starts calling them a star. For Whitney, that moment came with her first ever number 1, Saving All My Love for You. She was 21 years old, marketed as fresh and untouchable, singing about a woman in love with a married man. That was a bold choice for a new artist still finding her footing, and it paid off. The song won her a Grammy and announced, without question, that this wasn't a one-hit newcomer. This was the beginning of an era.
It's not very easy.
The horns, the restraint, the way she held back power instead of releasing it all at once, that control became her signature. It set the stage for everything that followed. Because once the world saw what she could do with one song, they started paying attention to everything she did next. Number 8, My Love Is Your Love, 1999.
And I feel like I wanna go home. This is your love, baby. It would take an eternity to break. It would take an eternity to break us. And the chains of our stars couldn't hold.
By the late 90s, the headlines weren't about her voice anymore. They were about her marriage, her struggles, her private life playing out in public. So when My Love Is Your Love arrived, it didn't sound like an artist coasting. It sounded like someone answering back.
It's okay if you're coming with me. Hold up.
Working with Wyclef Jean, she brought reggae-tinged production into her sound, something few expected from an artist of her stature this deep into her career. It was a risk. It worked. Critics called it a return to form. Fans called it proof she still had more to give. Some who knew her have said the song's tenderness felt aimed as much at her young daughter as any lover. Whatever the truth, it reminded the world she could still evolve. But the next song on this countdown isn't about survival. It's about a message so powerful, it outlived the person who first wrote it. Number 7, The Greatest Love of All, 1986.
To look up to, I never found anyone who fulfilled my take away my dignity because of
This song didn't start with her. A decade earlier, George Benson recorded it for a film about Muhammad Ali, and it came and went without much notice. Then Whitney got hold of it, and the world finally heard what it was always meant to be. Few people know the woman who wrote those words, Linda Creed, was quietly battling breast cancer at the time Whitney's version became a hit. She would pass away that same year, never fully seeing how far her message of self-worth would travel. In Whitney's voice, the song stopped being a movie theme and became something closer to scripture. It played at graduations, it played at funerals, it became the song people reached for when they needed to remember their own strength. This wasn't just a hit anymore. It was the moment fans stopped admiring her from a distance and started leaning on her voice for comfort. If these stories are bringing back memories or teaching you something new about the artists who built classic R&B and soul, this is the moment to hit subscribe. Like this video if these legends have shaped your life the way they've shaped music history, and drop your favorite Whitney song or memory in the comments below, because the higher we climb in this countdown, the more unforgettable these stories get. Stay with us, the best is still ahead. Number 6, When You Believe with Mariah Carey, 1998. Two of the biggest voices in music on one song for an animated film about Exodus. On paper, it sounded almost too big to work. Behind the scenes, there was real tension. Two artists at different points in their careers, each protective of her own sound, had to figure out how to share a single track without one swallowing the other. It could have gone badly. Instead, both women pulled back, choosing restraint over competition, and built something neither could have made alone. The song won an Oscar. It became a staple at tributes, weddings, and memorials, the kind of song people play when words alone aren't enough. It proved that even later in her career, Whitney could stand beside the next generation's brightest star and hold her own without missing a step. But the next song on this list finds her completely alone in the booth, delivering a vocal performance many still call the greatest ever recorded. Number 5, It's Not Right, But It's Okay, 1999. This is the song where the sweetness disappeared and something sharper took its place. No more pleading, no more longing, just a woman telling someone exactly what she found out and exactly why she was done. The spoken intro almost didn't make the final cut. Producers nearly trimmed it for the single edit, and if they had, one of the song's most quoted moments would have vanished before anyone ever heard it. Fans at the time couldn't help reading it as personal. Her marriage to Bobby Brown was already under public scrutiny, and this song landed like a woman answering questions nobody had the nerve to ask her directly. Nothing about that was ever confirmed, but the timing made it impossible to ignore. It won her a Grammy. It proved that even as her personal life became public property, her artistry stayed untouchable. And the next song on this list may be the most technically demanding performance of her entire career. Number 4, How Will I Know, 1985. Before this song, Whitney was a name people were watching. After it, she was a name people couldn't avoid. Few fans know it, almost went to someone else. Janet Jackson was considered for the track before it landed with Whitney instead, a decision that quietly reshaped two careers at once. Producer Narada Michael Walden rebuilt the song's tempo and arrangement specifically to fit her range, betting that a bright, radio-ready sound could carry a voice built for something much bigger. The bet paid off. The music video put her in heavy rotation on MTV, a network that had been slow and at times resistant to feature black artists. That single video helped prove a black woman could dominate pop radio, dance charts, and television screens all at once, not confined to one lane. This is the sound of an artist the industry could no longer contain. But 3 spots from the top of this countdown sits a performance so demanding, most singers still won't attempt it, even in a room full of friends. Number 3, I Have Nothing, 1993.
I don't really need to look very for you there, my star in there.
Ask any singer what the hardest song in Whitney's catalog is, and this is usually the answer. Written by David Foster and Linda Thompson for The Bodyguard, it was built from the start to push her further than almost any song before it. Foster has said he wrote the bridge as a direct challenge to her ability, essentially daring her to reach a note most vocalists spend their whole careers avoiding. Studio accounts describe take after take chasing that one climactic moment, the kind of physical and vocal endurance most listeners never think about when a song sounds effortless on the radio. The lyrics ask for a love with nothing hidden, nothing held back. Years later, knowing how much of her real struggles she kept out of public view, that request lands differently than it did in 1993. This remains the performance singer's study to understand real vocal control. But the next 2 songs on this countdown aren't just about talent. They're about the moments that turned her into a permanent part of music history. Number 2, I Will Always Love You, 1992. Some songs get borrowed, this one got transformed. Dolly Parton wrote it in 1973 as a quiet farewell to a mentor. Linda Ronstadt recorded her own version 2 years later. Neither one prepared the world for what happened when Whitney Houston sang it in 1992. David Foster has said Ronstadt's arrangement became the starting point, but everything after that first note was pure instinct on Whitney's part. The song's most famous moment, that unaccompanied opening line, almost got cut from the single. Executives worried it would throw listeners off before the beat even started. They kept it in, and it became one of the most imitated seconds in music.
Your way.
10 weeks at number 1, the best-selling soundtrack of all time, a film role that turned into a career-defining event overnight. This is the song most people think of first when her name comes up, the moment where the voice became a permanent part of American culture. But the highest spot on this countdown doesn't belong to heartbreak. It belongs to something the world needed just as badly, pure, uncomplicated joy. Number 1, I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me, 1987. Here it is, the most streamed Whitney Houston song of the modern era, still outperforming everything else in her catalog decades after it first hit radio. Written by Shannon Rubicam and George Merrill, the song almost went to another artist before Whitney's team recognized what it could become. At the time, that was a real gamble. She'd built her name on ballads, on vocal power held in reserve. This song asked for something completely different. Unfiltered Joy, an up-tempo pop record built for dance floors instead of slow, aching moments. Some at her label worried it would pull her too far from the R&B audience that made her a star. Instead, it opened her up to an even wider one, without costing her any of the credibility she'd already earned. Over 3 decades later, it still gets played at every wedding, every celebration, every party that needs one more song before the night ends. In a career full of scrutiny, heartbreak, and complicated fame, this is the song that gave people something simpler, a reason to smile. The same voice that once learned to hold a note in a church choir loft became, decades later, the sound of celebration in living rooms and dance floors everywhere. Drop your favorite Whitney song in the comments, or tell us which one you think deserves to be higher on this list. And stay close, because the final reveal is still ahead, and it might surprise you.